I once wondered how some people can control a room just by walking in, how they can speak without uttering a single word, yet everyone feels they are in the presence of someone extraordinary. Some people we meet in life speak so fluently, as if they are reading from a book, word by word, sentence by sentence. You'd say it's like they're stringing beads effortlessly. Some others have the information and stories in mind to share with you, but they search for the right words and phrases, and often pausing frequently. This happens even during TV interviews or public gatherings, and many people feel embarrassed by it. They say, "I want to improve myself." So, this episode is for those who struggle with speech fluency and want to work on it. We'll also discuss some exercises and skills to help acquire this trait. Point 1. Master yourself first. Words may be spoken easily, but if they don't come from a calm mind and a controlled self, they won't reach the depths of those listening. Self-control isn't just about choosing your words carefully. It's a commitment to not allowing destructive emotions like fear or anger to take over. To understand this more deeply, imagine this real-life example. In a major meeting, there was a manager overseeing his team. A sensitive situation arose with one employee who had made a serious mistake. If we look at the manager who shows anger or tension, we notice his voice rises, his facial expressions become strained, and as a result, everyone feels uncomfortable, even if he's right. The reason is simple. When someone cannot control their emotions, they lose the ability to influence others. Their actions provoke emotion rather than inspiring respect. In this context, respect cannot be earned if your reactions stem from inner chaos. Now imagine if this manager had remained calm, speaking with a low, steady voice, focusing on solving the problem peacefully. Due to the control he demonstrated, everyone would admire him and want to listen, even if his words were simple. This is the difference between speaking emotionally and speaking with confidence and balance. True respect comes from inner strength, the ability to maintain calm and focus, even in the most difficult circumstances. Learn to be like the sea in its moment of stillness, deep calm, but with immense power hidden beneath. Point 2. The silence that precedes words. There is a mysterious power in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It's a space that forces others to pay attention. When you choose to remain silent in moments when everyone else is talking, you compel others to notice your presence. But beware, not all silence works. It's the silence of the confident, the silence of someone who knows what they will say, but chooses the timing carefully. When you decide to speak after a long silence, every word carries weight. Your words become like a sword that cuts through doubt and establishes truth. Always remember, a few well-thought-out words are stronger than long, empty speeches. Point 3. Manipulating psychological spaces. There's a hidden secret in every conversation. You're not just talking to a person, but to their feelings, fears, and dreams. The person who understands this secret doesn't speak to convince. They speak to dominate. It's not about stating facts, but about how the other person reacts to the depths of your words and their own internal emotions, which are often hidden. Take this real-life example. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone in a sensitive situation, perhaps in a work environment, and they seem hesitant or anxious. If you dive directly into the issue or problem, the other person may raise their defenses, and you lose your chance to influence them. But what if you change the interaction by paying attention to their feelings? Here lies the power of controlling the psychological space between you. For instance, there was a leader of a sports team that needed encouragement before an important match. This leader didn't focus on talking about strategies or technical performance. Instead, he began with a calm, direct gaze into the eyes of the players and said something very simple, like, "I know exactly how you feel right now." This tension is natural. We're all in this together. The look wasn't aggressive, but carried reassurance and confidence. There was no exaggerated speech, just a deep connection with the team's emotions. This action made the players feel they weren't alone in this experience, giving them a sense of strength and unity. The secret here is that when you open up the psychological space between you and the other person and show them that you understand them more than they expect, every word you speak becomes more impactful. Don't worry too much about choosing the perfect words. Your presence itself will make the difference. Your calm, reassuring gaze will make the other person feel safe and open up a space for free conversation without needing to justify every word. Point 4. How you close the conversation. The most impactful moments are not at the beginning of a conversation, but at its end. The conclusion is what stays in people's minds. Don't end your talk randomly or with a hesitant tone. When you decide to close the dialogue, do so with words that leave a deep impression, as if signing off with an unforgettable final mark. For example, if you want to leave an impression of respect, you can end with a phrase like, "No need for many words." Actions are always the final judgment. Point 5. Summary and conclusion. Through modern physiognomy, we notice that people with constantly sweaty hands, clear eyes, or yellowish skin tend to stumble over their words. This could be due to hesitation, fear, or lack of self-confidence. There are many reasons. We'll take some steps, advice, and approaches to help you become more fluent according to modern physiognomy. First, boosting self-confidence plays a major role in achieving fluency. That's why you'll notice that some people, when alone or with those they trust, can speak smoothly and comfortably. But when they're with others, they get nervous and start stuttering, even though they know the story or have the information ready. So first, work on building self-confidence. The steps to build confidence vary from person to person, but generally, try to develop and strengthen your mind, spirit, and body, and expand your knowledge about the topic you want to talk about. It's impossible to speak fluently about something you don't know anything about. For example, if you're talking about a historical event without having any information or background on it, obviously, you won't find the right words or supporting facts. Therefore, part of building self-confidence is gaining knowledge about the subject you wish to discuss. You might say, "Well, it's just a random story I'm telling. There's no real information behind it, and I can't elaborate further. So, let me give a useful skill. Look at any object in front of you now, and talk about it for a full minute without stopping. Of course, do this alone. Then, move on to another object, like a bottle of perfume or anything else you encounter. Talk about it for a full minute without stopping. Just keep speaking. The next step after that is to try discussing the same thing with one or two people you know, speaking continuously for a minute. Then, expand your circle and talk about the same topic for a minute in front of strangers. These are skills that can help you develop fluency over time because being articulate is very important in persuasion. You might have strong arguments and speak the truth, but stumbling over your words gives the impression that you lack substance and people may not take you seriously.